Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing great wherever you are right now. This is just a small informational video. This is not really a stream, even though I will upload it, like it. There's some things I want to explain and talk about very briefly, so you can maybe learn something from this. I learned a lot from this. It's a run that I took pretty far. I mean, 270 days almost is obviously a lot. I took this run, everything is completely random. Again, it's expert, low funds, random map seed. It was unexplored when I started, and it's Ironman. As you can see here, I can't save. So I decided to stop this run. Maybe I will continue to do that, maybe try out some things, but there's some things I learned on the way. I did small mistakes, or small mistakes that actually will bite me in the butt later on. First of all, I feel having 3 tanks is one too many. This could have been, let's say, a rogue or another enemy, another dude that I could actually just take. And this is not really good. This is like the first small mistake. The next mistake is I have a lot of vanguards, like a lot, right? As a soldier, but I have really a lot of vanguards. And the problem with that is that having those, again, they're kind of cool, but then they are not really having what I want. So, for example, I had a pretty crazy fight against Undead. It was like 2 Necromancers. I managed to do that, but it was a very grindy long fight, and I even lost one bro. I was pretty unlucky with, the thing that Necromancers put on their fallen heroes, so they attack more often. He had like a big flail, and then I got like headshot 2 times, But the problem with all of this was I was kind of doing something wrong. I didn't took the mastery. I thought this is fine, this is how I should build my vanguards, and I feel this is absolutely okay. But the problem is taking anticipation and not this will lead that you actually stem out at some point. So then I kind of had to invest a little bit more in fatigue for those very long big fights, and you will have those long big fights a lot, especially like later on against all those orcs. You get hit a lot, and you need more fatigue than I actually thought. I thought this will work. It was normally I wouldn't take fortified mind, but I just want to amplify this. That's another mistake, and I did this basically on all my vanguards, right? Another mistake is if you take Fear Zone, actually, I really should read this so that everyone really understands how fearsome actually work, right? Make them scatter and flee. Any attack that inflict at least 1 point of damage, which would you basically always do, you hit points, so it has to be damage that is actually against the HP of the target. A moral check for the opponent with a penalty of 20% of your resolve minus 10. As opposed to no penalty if penalty and only if at or above 15 points of damage. So again, normally if you would basically trigger a moral check if you do 15 points or more damage, and this threshold is basically lower. But having only 50 resolve, or in some cases even less, I feel he has like 45, this doesn't really do much. Sure, it does more than not having it, but you can amplify this even more, right? Like way more. So yeah, this is basically just -1, kind of. So it doesn't really do much. So you want to have, I would say, at least, kind of hard to explain. Just more, right? So, and I rarely leveled this. I brought this up to a point where everyone is like over 40 or 45, right? But having everyone, I would say at least I don't know, the Vanguards especially, if they all would have like at least 70 or even more, right? Surely I have to get rid of like other stats, like let's say HP a little bit more, right? There are all ways to build around that. I feel this is a mistake too. I put a lot of emphasis on range defense, which worked really well, but I feel cutting myself too short on actually the fearsome proc here is maybe not like the right play. The next thing I did wrong, I was just like playing and I was just not really thinking of what I want and what I actually need in the end company. And the problem if you play that like that, you don't really have a clear goal what you want. Like for example, I want to have at least at least two conquerors. Conquerors are very high damage dealers, right? They have berserk and they have a big weapon and they have killing frenzy. But I don't have even one bro that actually could fulfill that role, right? I want to have at least two rogues, and I got them very late. This rogue is really good, but I got him pretty late too, and I just got a belly dance, so it's actually funny, which is an amazing rogue, or he can become an amazing rogue. And I'm almost at 270 day. That's way too late. You want to have them earlier, so I should be more aggressive, maybe even taking a recruiter pretty early on and pumping all my money into building up those bros. Some range bros are pretty low, right? I'm just leveling them. And even though this is kind of fine to some degree, changing now this whole group here is pretty terrible actually. To become what I want, I have to filter out a lot of bros basically now to get where I want to be. This is like whatever. I got this was pretty. I'm not like a big fan of Drunkard. This was one event. I didn't really hire him. So I will have a shopping list of what I'm really aiming for. So I'm aiming for two paladins. I'm aiming for at least two phoenixes. I'm aiming for two thunderer, two host guides, right? And all those bros, I will have build guides on my YouTube for them, so everyone can replicate that if they want. And I should pay more attention to actually how I level them. The beginning might look kind of similar, but I feel in focusing myself more on this and then just playing more to the strength, right? So at some point leveling way more resolve with my vanguards, for example, so they all like hit maybe even 70, 65 or something, then this effect will be way bigger. Fearsome will proc more often, it's just way stronger. I will aim for having two good throwers in the beginning so they can actually carry me. I have at least one decent rogue, and I would say at least one or two vanguards, or maybe even I recruit some legionnaires. I didn't do this here at all. Give myself a little bit more crowd control. Legionnaires basically an early game bro. It is a better soldier that has a mace and then is there to stun and to distract enemies basically. So enemies that are very dangerous, you can just go there and stun them. They're standing there with a shield, right? So I should be way more aggressive with this. And this is all things I really did wrong. And on top of that, because this is a run that is, kind of like Ironman, and I'm a little bit scared sometimes doing certain things, I should bust more camps. I did that, but not really that much. And therefore, even though my gear is fine, it kind of sucks for this day. I should have way more famed stuff. So yeah, there's just like a lot of things to desire. Should have bros that have better melee skill. Bros that have more fatigue. I just need better bros, so I have to really recruit more, like making a lot of money, making more missions, fighting more, selling more. I was sometimes just running around and looking for bros. I should always be on the hunt for like the next big payday. The Noble War, for example, I didn't participate at all. There was like a lot of money lost on top of that. Getting a lot of build hooks even, right? I don't know. I did some things wrong, I feel. I wouldn't say wrong. This run is some sort of like a success. I mean, I made it this far and I probably will not die in the next days. So I can say so it's kind of fine. I can probably beat with those bros the end game or yeah, the legendary locations like Sunken Temple, for example, or Sunken Library, or the Monolith, stuff like that. Of course, I need better gear, but this is just basically time. But I should play differently, and this can result in wiping a couple of times. But I feel if you really push this idea further, this is what I'm trying to do, then you will just have a better group overall, and you snowball faster, and you have at this. I mean, we can make a comparison, right? This group right now, and then let's say we look at maybe day 150, 250 or something, or 270 to make it more exact. How my group then would look like? How much money do I have? Probably, right? So how much retinue? This will be way higher. And again, this is all just time, but I'm like the idea of basically discarding 90% of them don't really appeal to me. My Bannerman is not really good too. I mean, look how bad this is. I actually had to take Backstabber to make this a little bit more reliable. I would rather take something else, right? Maybe even fearsome, right? Even though you don't really hit that much, but you have like another trigger again, something like that. So yeah, this is just to explain what I do and why I do that, and that I will level the next roles very differently. I will probably have like some sort of small shopping list, what I'm looking for, what I need basically. So I'm always on the hunt for that, and I feel this is just way more fun for me. And I feel not changing this now will just result in a run where you have 500 days or something like this, or even more, until you actually get to the point where you can do that. And then that's not really interesting, right? Everyone who can make it to a certain degree, you can just wait until you have no money, and then do like easy contracts, and then just keep yourself alive, and then it's day 1000. And at some point, you have crazy bros because everyone is level 25 or something. You can do that, but this is not really the purpose of this. The purpose is making a really strong group from the get-go with, I feel, the strongest background, but in the right way. And I made, again, some small mistakes. I will not do them again. And the cool thing about this, I'm doing a lot of those build guides. I can actually then always say, okay, this is a paladin, this is a bloodwing, this is a reaver, this is a phoenix, this is, I don't know, this is a conqueror, this is a thunderer, this is a huskal. It's kind of cool that then you can actually see the build guides that I do and use what they actually do in something like this. I feel this is a very cool, small, fun part on top of all of that, right? All right. I think I explained myself enough. I will start playing them from now, not like forever. I feel maybe even making some sort of like, cool fashion bro. I try to color every hat like black. It's kind of stupid, but it is what it is. And again, hunting way more for those juicy famed items. This is an absolutely amazing hat for one rogue, right? And having more attachments. I rarely had any, so it wasn't really optimized. It was kind of lazy. It worked, but then I thought, you know what? I kind of want to do this really good, so it's actually enjoyable to see the whole process, and trying to squeeze out like way more out of this whole run that is here now. And very sad about this. There was a cool story. He had a weakened heart. He got killed by an Alp, and like for 50 days I tried to find the grotesque tree to get the water skin, and actually found it. I could heal him. Now he's a really good rogue. I really like him. So a brawler, actually. Interesting. Anyways, I will put all the stuff that I tell in the guides to good use. I don't make those mistakes again with the weapon mastery. I really miss that. On him, for example. I will level maybe fatigue a little bit more, and maybe even thinking about pushing pushing them a bit further, maybe giving everyone killing frenzy and not berserk, so everyone gets like 25% more damage. Then I have to think if I really change that. I don't know. It's just something I should think about. I really like this idea of quick hands and doing that, and I feel like I really need this, and then not taking. I don't know. It's just something I have to think about. So, anyways, I hope you have a great day. Again, wherever you are, do something that is pleasant to do. Spend some time with people you like or love, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully in the next stream with a new company and a fresh new purpose. I'll see you there.